Hi, my name is Brennan Mayer, and this is Plastic Addict Talks, a series of interviews we're doing with creators from all over to discuss what they're working on and what we can expect from them in the future. Today, we are speaking with local Toronto filmmaker, editor, cinematographer, film person, Eli Speigel, to talk about his new film, Stain. Eli, thanks for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
So, just so that I don't say too much or say too little, could I ask you to explain to our audience, what is Stain?
Stain is a short film. It's a comedy. Was shot late in the summer of 2019, and I guess was the results of a lot of technically savvy and great creative people in the community willing to hop on board with this funny little idea I had. So I was able to get Brad Cherry to be the director of photography. I was able to get Matt Horvat to help me produce it. Miles Verweel, who's an excellent comedian, agreed to star in it, which was fantastic. We got Carly Thorne to be one of the other characters, Faraz Niafata, Jackson Rowe, Anip Jetha, just a whole host of I guess, talented people that I was able to steal away for 2 days to do something fun. It's basically a series of vignettes that sort of get set off by Miles, the main character, finding a strange stain in his bed one morning.
Without spoiling it, the main conceit of the film is particularly unique. And I wanted to ask if this is an idea, you've had kicking around for a while, or if it was a more spontaneous kind of thing.
Parts of it had sort of just been ideas that were floating around for a long time. I knew that I wanted to make a short film with a proper camera and the full-ish crew. I just knew that I had to make it something that I would be able to shoot on location for relatively cheap. Because it's, it was independent. There was no production company really helping me out. So yeah, it was just sort of this, I think in the months leading up to the summer of 2019, I was like, when I get a chance to, and I get the money together, we're gonna shoot this thing. I was lucky to have a lot of comedians and improv people and actors in the city get on board and sort of make this thing as good, if not better, than it could be. So it's just sort of waiting for everything to come together.
The film is very funny, and it is clearly a send-up of body horror, but it also feels like a pretty pointed send-up of the creative, social, and professional culture of Toronto. It's probably an experience in most cities, but specifically, the film feels very much of Toronto. And I was wondering if that was a creative decision intentionally made, or if that was just a happy accident by osmosis.
Probably more on the happy accident side. I think a lot of the scenes and sort of the backdrop and the setting for the film were just based on exaggerated experiences that I had in various places with various people. I guess I just find that something that's set in Toronto kind of just has to be true to the fact that it's just a city that's, kind of full of characters, from, strangers you'd run into at a laundromat to people who present themselves as very normal and tidy and professional. Typically the way that they talk and act forces you to question their character, I find. So that's just kind of what the supporting characters naturally came out as, I guess.
For sure. Eli, before I let you go, could I ask you just to tell people where and when they can see Stain online?
So Stain will be publicly accessible through a site and Vimeo channel called Beyond the Short on November 6th. And then shortly afterwards on another site called Film Shortage, and then Kino's Short of the Week. So that's exciting and that's nice. I'm sure that, if in non-coronavirus film festival season, I would not have thought to seek these channels out. I would have just made it public on Vimeo and said, okay, whatever. But there's interesting stuff out there.
Well, I hope a lot of people check it out. It's a really great film and certainly a lot of fun to watch. Thank you very much, Eli, for taking the time to join me today and talk about Stain.
My pleasure.
And thank you for watching this episode of Plastic Addict Talks. Have a good one and see you next time.